And we are live. Welcome to the NBA Strategy Show. It is Wednesday, November 5th. We got a big one today. 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 games on the main. Is that right? 11 games total. DraftKings dropped the 3 late games. So we've got Sixers, Cavs, Jazz, Pistons, Nets, Pacers, all locking at 7. Wizards, Celtics, Wolves, Knicks, locking at 7:30. Rockets, Grizzlies at 8. Pelicans, Dallas at 8:30. Miami, Denver at 9. So a lot of locking windows for tonight. Greg and I will be live on playback tonight, prepping for the 7:30 lock and the 8 o'clock lock. FanDuel or late slates, we've got 3 games at 10 o'clock. Spurs, Lakers, fun one. Thunder, Blazers, Warriors, Kings, not going to be fun for anybody involved. We've got tons of back-to-backs, guys that may be playing, might not be playing. We're going to set the table on this show today. There are so many spots where it's just like, we don't have takeaways. We can only just get everybody informed for what we have going on. For right now, highly owned Cade Cunningham looks under-owned. Highly owned Jalen Duren looks properly to slightly under-owned. Jokic looks good. We've got Siakam out there. Nurkic heavy ownership once again. What's Beef Stew going to look like today? We got some interesting stuff to talk about. And it should be fun. If you're here, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell so you know when everything goes live. Follow me on Twitter at Josh Engleman. Yesterday stunk, man. I didn't have nearly enough of those Raptors guys. Too much Giannis. We asked the question all day. It's a 50-50 shot. You know, is it Giannis in the optimal? Is it Giannis not? I mean, based on his ownership, it ended up coming down a bit, but it wasn't great. Josh Giddey, fantastic. Tyrese Maxey couldn't miss. Joel Embiid was great in his time. My boy Colin Sexton was not. That didn't help. Crazy night. Lots to talk about here, folks. So hit that like button. Let's get it started. Again, we need to be very aware. Each individual game will get talked about a little bit differently because there's not going to be anything to say. We'll start it off Philly and Cleveland. Am I starting to believe in the Bulls? No, absolutely not. But great story. Happy they're winning. Like, that's fun. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to do. I don't think they're any better than I did 2 weeks ago. Is that Greg the Hammer Valentine? No, it's Bobby Heenan and Gorilla Monsoon. I'd be cool if it were Greg Valentine as well. But nah, it's Heenan and Monsoon. All right, Philly, Cleveland. So, obviously, Philly on a back-to-back. They had that epic... Oh, yeah, Fears sucked, too. Philly had the epic yesterday with Chicago. Not expecting to see Joel Embiid here for this one. Don't know if anybody else is going to sit. Don't know if they'll sit McCain as well on the back-to-back. I wouldn't be surprised if he just plays, but I mean, he was out for a year. It originally was knee surgery, so who knows? My guess is that he plays, though, because he barely played yesterday. But if we're not getting Embiid, we're going to get a Dembona, Andre Drummond, Trendon Watford, Jabari Walker in some kind of combination of the 4 and the 5 here for most of it. If we want to talk about it from I need to open up another tab. If we want to talk about it from a salaries perspective for this one, because obviously we don't have an injury report yet for Philly. Maxey's $10K. Edgecombe, $7,500. Oubre, $6,300. Clear that filter quickly. There we go. So there's not a lot of ownership to start the day coming into this game. Einsteinium, they can't even be in the ballpark of the Pacers from last year. We're not even talking about anything even close to the same thing. That's like a 10-win difference in team talent. Look, some teams are just going to win a couple games at the beginning more than you expected. Like, when you have 7 data points, every once in a while, somebody you don't expect is going to be 6-1. Don't overthink it. They'll be 41-41 by the time we get to the end of the season. Trust me, it's the Bulls. And if they're not, great. It's a good story. They can't beat anybody. They have no chance. They don't have the bodies. So even with the lack of Embiid, like, these guys are all already priced where they should be, and now we potentially have McCain today. So whether it's like, if you want to go to a 10K maxi, I get it. I mean, the guy just doesn't miss. Not a better matchup here against Cleveland. To me, there's just not much to look at on the Sixers side today. I don't love the pricing. I don't really need to roll the dice on like Bona, or like, if you want to pay up for Maxey, it's fine. I don't anticipate having a ton of this game. You know, the line is 10. I got it at 13 to Cleveland, and we'll talk about that in a second. There should be some decent scoring, but if you take this game, you're also locking players in at 7 with plenty of slate to go. I don't have a ton on the Philly side, but we got to talk about Cleveland here, because Darius Garland is questionable. He would be making his debut. Jared Allen is questionable. We don't know if he's going to be here at all. Max Strus, we're not going to have. Sam Merrill, questionable as well, or at least he was on the previous injury report. So lots of Q tags on this Cleveland team. They are also impossible to talk about right now. We are getting no ownership to Cleveland, but if Garland isn't back, if Allen isn't playing, if Sam Merrill isn't then we're having a different conversation about Cleveland. That's all we need to know right now. We need Cleveland info. It's the first game of the night. We're going to know about Garland. We're going to know about Allen. We're going to know about Merrill. For now, I don't see anything here. If they're all in, you're probably not playing much at Cleveland. Guys, Joel Embiid is not playing today's basketball game. I promise. I have no idea when the last time Joel Embiid played a back-to-back, but it's probably more recent than it seems, but he's not playing today. If he does, that would be one of the more surprising day items that we'll have all year. All right, Utah and Detroit. This is another one that's like a real unfun experience to start the day. So, Pistons played Grizzlies in their last one, and we got Beef Stew starting alongside Jalen Duren. Not only did he start, he played a ton of minutes, and he smashed. Well, I don't think we're going to have Tobias Harris for this one. Are my injuries not scraping right now? Because that's going to be pretty annoying. I'll deal with that in a second. So assuming that Detroit maintains the Isaiah Stewart starting lineup with no Tobias Harris, he's probably going to play like 30 minutes. And they didn't do this by expanding the rotation. They just played like 8 guys all of the minutes. So as we look at this, Beef Stew, 40% owned to start the day, 5,200, Power forward center, Steven Leibowitz, it's not a chase. It's not a chase. Eric Lindquist in the building. We know who likes beef stew. So I don't know how you get away from him. You get the power forward eligibility. He's not priced to start. This is a guy you just don't mess around with today. Is the way that I have it, at least. Just to look at it in my stuff as well. Where do I have them? 25-3. We have them 28. Yeah, even I'm a little bit lighter, and I'll still have a ton. But beef stew looks good. That's not where the ownership ends in this game. Jalen Duren is going to be popular at 7,200. He's playing real minutes. Cade Cunningham at 10-2 is 30% owned. Those are real minutes because they get to play the Jazz. This is a terrible defense. There's going to be plenty of offense to go around. So we're getting tons of Stewart, Duren, Cunningham, Ron Holland off the bench in 22 minutes. Asar Thompson, Javonte Green is playable. All of that looks good for the Pistons today, assuming they maintain the same starting rotation that they did last time out. I want to have a bunch of Cade, Stewart, Duren, Asar, Ron Holland. Yes, give me all of it. Give me all of it. Now, I like Duncan Robinson more than the ownership shows. I am likely way too high on him right now, but he looks solid. $4,500 shooting guard that's also playing 30 plus minutes. Every once in a while, those shots are going to go. And when the Jazz defense can't find him running around, he's going to get some looks. But this is a spot you want to focus on today. And this is part of the reason that I don't have much to say about Philly and Cleveland. If I'm going to be locking in 7 o'clock game, I'm going to lock in the Detroit Pistons. But we've also got some Jazz to talk about because they're not going to have Walker Kessler again today. Yusuf Nurkic is 5,300. He's also 40% owned to start the day. And I get it. He's going to play a decent chunk of minutes. Minutes were up last time out. And now we're going to get Nurkic here. Not a great matchup for him. Duren plenty strong, way more athletic. And you'll get beef stew out there. So, like, on the surface, this doesn't feel like a great game for Yusuf Nurkic. They're also 10-point dogs. Should we have a Yusuf Nurkic conversation? What do you guys want to do with Nurk at 5,300, knowing he's going to be heavily owned? It's a tricky one. I want to look at something here. Just want to look at my sim results from Nurk. Because we want to think, they're pretty big dogs. Not as huge of a gap in Nurkic's scoring, whether they win or lose, which is interesting to see. Not as much negative correlation for Nurk. It's mostly just marketing. But I think he's the guy that I'm like okay to get away from. It also doesn't help that I'm like not a big fan of the Pistons, but 00007, man, I wish I would have had a little bit more myself, but he just kept standing out. Look, ultimately, we're going to be playing a lot of Pistons. We need their lineup. Any chance of a Drummond spot start? I'd be very surprised if it's not Bona. We do have more ownership coming into Keontae George as well. He's about 20% owned, 7,100 point guard, shooting guard eligible. I know Collier's back. I think this is just Keontae George's job. I don't mind having him there if you guys like Utah. And much like every other day, I will probably have like 20% of Lauri Markkanen. Maybe he's auditioning for his future team. All right, the other 7 o'clock start is going to be a doozy. Ignore that out mark on Michael Porter Jr. for right now. He is not out. But Brooklyn Nets and the Pacers. I mean, both of these teams are bad. 233 total. Pacers favored here. We do have a bunch of ownership coming into the Pacers. It's probably in our best interest to talk about why that is. Luckily for us, the reasoning is very simple. Andrew Nembhard, Benedict Mathurin, Johnny Furphy, Cam Jones, Obi Toppin, Quentin Jackson, TJ McConnell, and Tyrese Halliburton are all out. So they have Ray J. Dennis, Aaron Nesmith, Pascal Siakam, Jarris Walker, Isaiah Jackson. And then they have 6 more bodies: Shepard, Huff, Bradley, McClung, Jeremiah Robinson, Earl, and Talon Peter. So lots of minutes to go around for this Pacers team today, and you're seeing it in the ownership. Wait, why is Quentin Jackson showing up here? There's no way I projected him in. Give me a second. I want to see why he's in the projections right now. Because I don't have him in for me, but it's possible I missed his minutes. Let me take a peek. Because he's not supposed to be there, and I don't know if that's just an artifact or not. It's possible. I mean, I don't remember seeing a minutes error. On-air production meeting with myself for right now, folks. What's going on? Okay, Indiana Pacers. Do I have Quentin Jackson projected, or is that a weird artifact from yesterday? I have Quentin Jackson projected for minutes. Interesting. All right, let me update that and get that pushed to the site so that we can get that fixed. Because he's not supposed to have those minutes. Oh, I put him on the Ray J. Dennis line. Now I see it. Luckily for us, this isn't going to matter too much. Just assume that Quentin Jackson's ownership is Ray J. Dennis's ownership. Those guys are basically the same price in the same position. I accidentally typed Quentin Jackson's minutes projection into Ray J. Or I accidentally typed Ray J. Dennis's minutes projection into the other cell. So projections are getting pushed to the site right now. That'll be up in a bit. But that ownership will be flip-flopped for us right now. Not a problem. We'll be able to deal with that. Those guys will be similarly owned. Okay, so those projections are being updated right now. Apologies for that. But Ray J. Dennis will be popular because Quentin Jackson is out. Pascal Siakam is going to be 25-ish% owned. Aaron Nesmith getting that kind of ownership. Isaiah Jackson getting ownership. Jarris Walker getting ownership. All these starters, Dennis, Nesmith, Siakam, Walker, Jackson, they're all going to get some love today. And they should. They should. But it's all about which one you actually want, you know? And as I look at it, Ray J. Dennis looks great. You know, we saw the big ownership on the fake Quentin Jackson spot there. Dennis is going to be the same thing here. I think the value on Isaiah Jackson is very reasonable if he's going to be getting a couple extra minutes. And then on the opposite side of this one, I'm at least a little bit interested in Cam Thomas at 7% ownership. Michael Porter Jr. back at 6,900. He's getting a little love. But these are just two really short-handed, not very good teams. And in this case, trying to bet on a couple of these guys is not the worst idea in the world. All right, I could at least get the updated projections. The ownership will probably not be on this show. That'll be afterwards, but I'll at least have the right projections. That's this. Humor me for 1 second, guys. There we go. So yeah, now Quentin Jackson showing up with the zeros across the board. Unsurprising. But once Boom Bust updates, we'll be good to go with showing Ray J. Dennis. But Ray J. Dennis is going to be great. Marquee Sports. I don't remember this show this early. Is this a new schedule? Nope. 9 o'clock all year last year. But I love the Pacers side. Ultimately, for the 7 o'clock games, we're not really paying attention to Philly, Cleveland, at least not right now. We're going to get a lot of Utah, a lot of Detroit, some Brooklyn, and a lot of Indy. That's just where we're at right now. Washington and Boston. I mean, great spot for the Celts. 12-point favorites in this one. Decent enough ownership coming in on the Boston side. Peyton Pritchard's about 20% owned. Derek White, Jaylen Brown, around 15. Those three guys are going to rule the roost here. They're going to get all the touches, and the matchup for them is spectacular. Assuming Justin Champagnie starts again for the Wizards, 3,500. You know, we got him in for 18 minutes. Reasonable enough point per dollar play. You can take some shots on Ninius Keita or Josh Minot if you'd like. You know, there's something to be said for a ceiling game for like Anthony Simons at 5,100. But I think really the only thing you want to truly focus on is Pritchard, White, and Brown. Celtics at home never blow anybody out, especially this version of them. I mean, this version of them has played, what, 2 home games? That's a pretty weird stance to take right now. Also, everybody blows out everybody. But yeah, I mean, they're 12-point favorites for a reason. Bet the Wiz, I guess. If you want me to pick between Peyton Pritchard, Derek White, and Jaylen Brown, personally, I want Peyton Pritchard. But for this one, really, it's just the true, actual good players on the Celtics. Pritchard, White, Brown. They lost to the Jazz as 10-point favorites. Yes, that is the result of one game. It is, in fact, the result of a game. I, for one, probably wouldn't look at that and think, well, the Celtics can't blow out people at home. Could see how you'd go that way. But the fastest way to blow people out at home is to have a home date with the Wizards. Now, this one could be fun. Minnesota Timberwolves at the New York Knicks. And we got a couple things we need to touch on here. We'll start with the Minnesota Timberwolves, who have a Q tag on Anthony Edwards. I didn't think he was going to be back this quickly. I'm sure he would love to be back for a game at MSG against Towns. I have no idea if he's going to play today. You know, he tends to be like pretty durable and doesn't seem to be hurt all that often. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's just back. If he is, right back into the starting lineup, 30-something minutes. But we're getting Ant back here, allegedly. Now, for the Knicks, I think we should expect to see Mitchell Robinson today. Pull up the injury report for a second. So, obviously, we have no Knicks injury report right now, right? But expectation that we're going to have Mitchell Robinson today, playing a little bit. Welcome back. It's a fun game. We got the narrative from the trade, all that good stuff. There's no ownership here right now. Cat, 10% owned at 8,900. If Mitchell Robinson is in fact playing in this game, I like Towns less at the 4. Everybody else is single digits. Mitchell, I feel like I'm picking on you today. Rushing back from a hammy seems risky to me. I mean, I would agree too, but we don't know anything about his injury. Like, they're not going to play him unless he's fine. But I don't know how we play anything in this one. I want to watch this game. But from a DFS perspective, nobody stands out. Now, do I think that these guys are interesting in GPPs? Towns, Anunoby, Bridges, Ant, Brunson. Yeah, McDaniels. Yeah, there's like Randall, Gobert. Like, all of the names that I'm saying as the last guy into your lineup, totally fine. But they're not priorities. Doug, no. You would have to lower their projection. If you're getting those guys in the single lineup simulator and you don't want to, I would either, one, evaluate why you don't want to, or lower the projection. But they're going in there because they're supposed to. Yeah, and obviously, Zach Justice just made a great point. He said, I would have loved Randall if Ant wasn't back. Obviously, it can change if he's out. Yeah, like, he could just not play, and then some of these Minnesota guys are going to be a bit more interesting. But there's not much here. And there's not much in the next one either. Houston at Memphis. We don't know the status of Jabari Smith yet. He was out last game. We got the Tari Eason start. Whether or not Jabari Smith is starting will impact the rest of Houston. Right now, with him in, the most owned guy for the Rockets is 13% owned Amen Thompson. Everybody else in this game is single digits. Now, lots of positive leverage. Positive leverage on Thompson, Morant, Eason, Cam Spencer, Cedric Coward. So there may be something in this one. Grizzlies are a weird team right now. Obviously, the Ja Morant experience behind the scenes isn't going great. But, like, if Smith's back, I don't really want too much Eason. Durant's 8,500. He has the same game every night. $9,400 Şengün, I think, does look pretty good here, just given the matchup. It's Jock Landale and Charles Bassey. This is a pretty good spot for Şengün. He's a guy I always have my eye on, but he's 5% owned. Do you guys like anything in this one? I don't have a lot here. Ja feels a little sneaky, but just the vibes feel weird. I'm always fine getting Amen Thompson, but I'm more interested in like the low-owned Şengün. Like Cedric Coward's a little interesting as a punt. Yeah, Travis, I'm with you there. Coward is a baller. Yeah, maybe. He's a rotation guy for sure. I think people are going to overrate this season a lot. Are the Bassey minutes real? I mean, I wouldn't. Hard to say. Probably not. I think you could find a spot that you'd feel more comfortable than that one. Because it's Charles Bassey, you know? Random question, but who do you think wins it all this year? There is only one answer. If anybody answers anything other than Oklahoma City, don't trust them. That doesn't mean they win, but like, you could either say OKC or the field, but if you pick a different team, you're just picking to pick. It's OKC or the field right now. There's no one close to them. But, you know, all it takes is one injury and everything's different. But as of right now, there's not another team that you could realistically name credibly. Because at full strength, Oklahoma City is light years ahead of everybody else. If I were betting someone, I would bet someone from the East just because the path there is easier, but I don't like a single East team. Every one of these East teams would get drubbed by Oklahoma City. I don't think any of them have it for them. Boston could have, but clearly no. Pacers, I guess, in theory could have because we saw it, but I still think that was all fake. So, unfortunately for us, we have an experience tonight that I don't anticipate us really enjoying. We got to do the Pelicans thing again. So the Pelicans are on a back-to-back. They played Charlotte last night. They were the belle of the ball from an ownership perspective. Kevon Looney was terrible. Jeremiah Fears wasn't very good. Jose Alvarado played 30 minutes. And now we got to do it again today. Now, Zion's definitely not playing. Yves Missi might play. The rest of these guys are out. So, like, if Yves Missi plays, that helps. The Kevon Looney experience is not going to be the same thing that we had last night. But Fears is still going to look good. And if Jordan Poole starts, that's going to be interesting. I don't know how to talk about this game right now. Because it's garbage. It's literal garbage. But it's relevant. 8:30 start. So you kind of want to have some of it. Like, if Kevon Looney does play, even in 17 minutes, he's of value. But we need Missi to be in so that we don't want that at all. But if Yves Missi doesn't play today, we are going to play Kevon Looney again. I think Jose Alvarado looks really interesting from value from last night. I will go back to Jeremiah Fears. I think you can get to Jordan Poole, Herb Jones. I played a ton of Derek Queen last night. It went well in the minutes that he played. He still didn't play that much. We need everything from the Pelicans. We need their injury report later this afternoon, and we need to know what's going on here. Talking about them right now is useless. We've got a deeper dive later today. We've got live before lock later tonight. Spending any time on the Pelicans right now is a fool's errand. I'll be on the deeper dive at 5. Live before lock at 6. Playback at 7. We got plenty of ways to cover this Pelicans team. Right now, it's not even worth it. Now from Dallas, Karl Anthony Towns downgraded to questionable today with an illness. That just popped up. That will make that game way more interesting. Now on the Dallas side, Gafford got more minutes recently. If he gets 24 at 4,700, he's way too cheap. I like D'Angelo Russell off the bench because someone's got to shoot. Max Christie's been really solid. Decent enough value. But this game is in flux. We got a lot of information that we got to wait on for the Pelicans on that back-to-back. So we're going to close it out on the DraftKings side. Miami Heat, 10-point dogs in Denver. Denver should be normal. Little bit of ownership coming into Murray, Christian Brown. 12K Jokic is 10% owned. I do not love this spot the same way that I loved it against the Kings. I mean, they're like the Heat can put real people out there on Jokic. Hasn't been scoring the way that you would want to, save for that last one. That said, he's Nikola Jokic. If you've got the salary to get up to him, do it. I think the most interesting stuff in this game is probably like Norm Powell, Andrew Wiggins, Aaron Gordon. Those like little edge case guys. Yo, a lot of Desmond Bane slander going on in here. What are we doing? Has it been that bad? I haven't been paying attention to his stats. Obviously, I know how Orlando's going. 22%, yeah, 52% true shooting, not great. 53% at the rim, 27% from three. I mean, you know, he'll fix himself. He'll be fine. He'll be fine. 40% three-point shooter didn't just suddenly become a 27% three-point shooter. He's going to be all right. Don't stress. Don't stress. No worries. Yeah, Mangle, I'm with you there. Şengün just so much easier to get to. Let's look at the whole slate. Let's get the whole vibe here. So, Wemby, not on the slate. Luka, not on the slate. SGA, not on the slate. The real pay-ups, so different today. But if we're talking about boom rates, let me filter out that ownership bullshit. Highest boom of the day is Cade Cunningham. Second is Jokic. Third is Jalen Duren. $7,200 center. That's the interesting thing for Jokic. Jokic, Duren, Nurkic, Beef Stew, Şengün. We got some options at the top. But in terms of pay-ups, you got 12K Jokic, 10-2 Cade, 10K Maxey, and then a pretty busy 9K. Siakam, Şengün, Mitchell, Mobley, Morant, Julius Randle. Now we've got this Q tag on Karl Anthony Towns. Shout out to the auto injury report processing for snagging that Q tag 5 minutes ago. That's fun. Mitchell, you don't like Duren with Beef Stew starting. Okay. I get it. Sorta. You should like it a little bit more when they start against Utah. That part helps. That helps a bit. Okay. I mean, one, we got to talk a little bit about the fact that we're awesome. Highly recommend you guys sign up at Stokastic. You guys can see the winning screenshots up here right now. It's very simple to get in. All you have to do is click the link in the description of this video. Sign up through one of our partners. either a sportsbook or a pick'em site. Either way, you follow the instructions on that page, you get our sims for a month. Projections, ownership, everything's included. You sign up for more than one of those, you can stack free months on top of each other. You can get 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months free at Stokastic. And I mean free. You don't pay us a dime. So click the link in the description and come on in, folks. Water is fine. Is the pace good between the Pistons and Utah? Let's take a look. I've got it at dead neutral 100. Let's see who the offender is here. Detroit 101, Utah 100. I guess Utah's playing. I mean, it's like a neutral game. Yeah, it's like neutral. I mean, I'm a bigger believer in Utah. The advanced metrics hate Detroit's offense, in particularly, like, not the biggest fans of Cade. Let's see. EPM. Gotta fix that. Gotta fix that. But, like, EPM doesn't love the Pistons offense. They've got it at negative 2.7 overall. Oddly enough, like, not all that different than the Jazz. It's the defense that's dramatically different. Will Markkanen ever get traded? I mean, they should. I think they should do it this offseason. Or this deadline if they can. If he keeps playing well, they could get a mint for him. He would look good on the Pistons. They'd probably have to send out a Sarr. Or Ron Holland. And a whole bunch of other stuff. All right, let's run a sim. See where we're at to start the day. Hit that like button if you haven't done it yet. Reminder, 5 p.m. deeper dive. 6 p.m. live before lock. 7 p.m. playback.tv/Stokastic. Come on in. Marking into OKC. Yeah, that's 100% never happening. Great fit in Detroit. I like that. San Antonio is obviously like the dream fit. He is perfect for San Antonio. Absolutely, positively perfect. Like, if they could go back in time and undo the Fox trade just to get Markkanen instead, God, that would be good. Travis, the Sixers can't do anything. Josh Medlin says Looney's banned. Well, get ready, brother, because you're probably playing him tonight. He's probably going to have 50 fantasy points, because that's how this usually works. All right, top 150 lineups. Let's just get a peek at where everything is to start the day. Most exposed guys: Ray J. Dennis, Cade Cunningham, Jalen Duren, Yusuf Nurkic. We got any other major positive leverage stands? Those are the 4 biggies. Ron Holland, MPJ, Tari Eason. Biggest negative leverage: Pascal Siakam, Neemias Queta, and then it's really all pretty flat. So I think, folks, we have reached the time of the show where I am going to build some lineups. Single lineup sim time, baby. It is time for the starting five. And I'm very curious where we're going to go here, but it's time to find out. Time for the starting five, everybody. We need to find my 5 best plays. A point guard, a shooting guard, a small forward, a power forward, and a center. We're going to lock them in. We're going to find the optimal 3 plays around them, figure out what the ROI is for that lineup. Then we're going to see some 3v3s around those guys to see how we can improve our core and just how good is our core. That's the goal. So we need to find our guys for today. I like to start by just looking at it in a backwards value perspective. Oh, and Ray J. Dennis needs to be in here at like 38% ownership. Caveat, accidentally typed his stuff in wrong today. And I made him Quentin Jackson, who is out, but Quentin Jackson is not out. Positive ROI means nothing. Ultra Plus Gaming, thanks for being here, man. Super helpful. Anyway, let's get our picks in for today. We got a couple really interesting spots. The first place that I have to go, I know he's very chalky. Beef Stew, you're going into the power forward spot. Way too easy. We got 100 centers today. I want to make sure that I get Isaiah Stewart, assuming he continues to start as he did their last time out. Now, shooting guard is pretty bleak. Value, not a lot of it around. Not a ton of ownership coming in. Immediately, I see the guy that I want to get at shooting guard at relatively low ownership, but the salary stinks. I'm taking Norm Powell here. I know we're not going to expect that one. Ray J. Dennis immediately goes in because we need some value. Expected to start, shorthanded Pacers, and they face Brooklyn. Great matchup. Small forward and center, left to go. Now, we do have some value options here at the top. I'm going to take Tari Eason here. Jabari Smith is questionable. Whether Jabari Smith plays or not, a 7% owned Tari Eason today is fine, and he might look like a key takeaway by the time we get to lock. So the final thing we need is a center. Yusuf Nurkic is very popular and cheap. Jalen Duren is very popular, but we already have Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Jackson is mildly popular. If we go to Nikola Jokic, we still have $5,300 left for our final 3 spots. But the center that I'm going to go to is not Nikola Jokic, and he's probably not going to be ranked all that high. I'm pairing up another Houston guy, and I'm going to a 5% owned Alperen Şengün. That leaves us $18,500 left. We got about $6,100 per spot. Guard forward utility. I'm going to click complete this lineup in the single lineup sim, and this is where we're going to find out who the 3 optimal plays are. And we fill it out with some Pistons. Jalen Duren in, Ron Holland in, and we get Keontae George. Leaves $200 on the table, $254 projection, $185 ownership. Let's see what we've got. And wastewater, for those of you that see winning lineups that have negative sim ROI, yeah, that happens, man. That happens. That doesn't mean that positive ROI is bad. I promise. That is a massive sim ROI here, and I think it's because of Ray J. Dennis. I think that's causing us an issue in this sim. Because that's not correct. So I'm going to pull Ray J. Dennis from this lineup as my guy so that we can actually see this properly. So in lieu of Ray J. Dennis, we need to get a different guy in here. We're amending this video right now by swapping out Ray J. Dennis for Peyton Pritchard. Now our three optimals are Keontae George, Ron Holland, and Yusuf Nurkic. 250 projection, 179 ownership. Now we're back to where we're supposed to be. Ray J. Dennis was messing this up because of my own errors. 63% sim ROI, 0.2% chance to win, 41% cash rate. So we're going to save that lineup, copy it, clear those dudes, and add some randomness to find out what can we get around our core. Because Peyton Pritchard is my favorite Boston guy. I'm not mad that I have him here, but Ray J. Dennis does look good. Cam Spencer, Jarris Walker, and now we get Jalen Duren. 249 projection, 143 ownership. So if we compare that, we're down 1 fantasy point, but we went down 36 points in ownership. This is going to be way higher than the previous lineup. 80s or 90s for sure. 92 sim ROI, 0.3% chance to win, 40% cash rate. Man, the single lineup sim is the ticket. Let's see if we get anybody else. Can we beat? I want to keep that one for how good it was. Can we beat it though? That's the question. Clear. Complete. Keontae George, Ron Holland, Nick Claxton, 247 projection, 148 ownership. We kept the ownership low. We gave up a little bit more projection. My expectation here is high 70s, low 80s, but another great 3v3. 62.8. I was a little optimistic. 0.3% chance to win, 37% cash rate. I'm going to do one more because I feel like we're cooking here and we're in a great zone. Keontae George, Terrence Mann, and Yusuf Nurkic. We took on some more ownership. We did take on a little bit more projection. This one's going to be in the 60s as well. No, I was wrong. Now I'm under projecting myself. 82% sim ROI. Great start. You know what we do for the final one. We got to build it manually. We need a guard, a forward, and a utility spot. Where can we find some? If I put Jokic in, can we even fill out the lineup? No, impossible. Okay, good to know. I'm going to take Michael Porter Jr. Okay, I got to take out Tari Eason first. Add MPJ. Now add Tari Eason. We got this. All right. I'm just going to put in MPJ and lock it and see what the optimal two plays around him are. Lonzo Ball, Yusuf Nurkic, 249 projection, 149 ownership. We're going to be in the 70s again. The key for you guys now, Pritchard, Eason, oh boy. Pritchard, Eason, Stewart, Powell, Şengün. That is your starting five for today. And all of the 3v3s you want to find seem like they're going to be good. But Lonzo Ball, Yusuf Nurkic, and Michael Porter Jr., 114 sim ROI to start the day, 40% cash rate. This right here is your starting five. What do you guys think of those sims, baby? Looking good to start the day. NFL Strategy Show is coming up next. Today's Wednesday. They're going deep into it, and you don't want to miss it. Lonzo playing 15 minutes with Garland back? No. It's the other guys that'll start playing nothing. And Garland is questionable. Guys, Lonzo Ball is very playable today still at 5% ownership. Don't overthink this. You guys want to build lineups with $70,000 in salary. That was fun. I'll see you guys on the deeper dive. Hit the like button on your way out the door. Good luck, y'all.